Look at your fingernails right now. Those vertical lines running from the base to the tip? After 60, nearly everyone has them. Most people assume it's normal aging, and in many cases, it is. But here's what no one mentions. When those lines get deeper, when cracks appear, when your nails split at the edges, your body isn't just getting older, it's sending you a signal. And the signal has nothing to do with your nails. Your nails are made almost entirely of keratin, a structural protein that your body assembles from amino acids, minerals, and specific vitamins. The production happens in a tiny patch of living tissue hidden under your cuticle called the nail matrix. Think of it as a factory. Every day this factory pushes out new cells that harden and become the nail plate you see. When the factory runs smoothly, the surface comes out even. When something disrupts the supply chain, fewer raw materials, less oxygen, hormonal shifts, the surface comes out uneven, ridged, grooved, cracked. And here's the part that changes the picture entirely. The nail matrix is one of the most metabolically demanding tissues in your body. It divides faster than most skin cells, which means it's one of the first places to show when something goes wrong inside, sometimes months before you feel any other symptom. But the ridges themselves are just the visible layer. Underneath, there's a mechanism most sources never connect to nails at all, and it starts in an organ you'd never suspect. After 60, your body absorbs nutrients differently than it did at 40. Stomach acid production drops, in some studies by as much as 40% by age 70. And stomach acid isn't just for digesting food, it's the key that unlocks mineral absorption. Iron, zinc, magnesium, B12. Without enough acid, these minerals pass through the gut and leave the body unused. Now connect this to your nails. Iron carries oxygen to the nail matrix. When iron drops, even without full-blown anemia, the factory slows down. The nail plate gets thinner, ridges appear. In severe cases, nails curve inward like a spoon. This has a clinical name, koilonychia, but you don't need to reach that stage to have a problem. Ferritin levels, that's your iron storage, below 30 nanograms per milliliter are already enough to change the way your nails grow. Most standard blood panels don't flag this until it drops below 12. By then, the nails have been struggling for months. Zinc is the next domino. Your nail matrix is one of the fastest dividing tissues you have, and zinc is required for every single cell division. When zinc is low, the matrix can't keep up. Nails grow slowly, develop white spots, what's called leukonychia, and become brittle. The daily requirement isn't high, 8 to 11 milligrams, but after 60, absorption efficiency drops and dietary intake often narrows. And then there's the one most people overlook entirely. Silicon, not the chip material but the trace mineral, is the structural backbone of every connective tissue in your body. Tendons, blood vessels, skin, and nails. Silicon cross-links collagen and keratin fibers, giving them rigidity and resilience. Without it, those fibers form loosely, and the result is a nail that bends, peels, and cracks under minimal pressure. Here's the problem. Silicon levels in the body decline steadily with age. By 60, you have significantly less than you did at 30. And almost nobody tests for it. It's not on any standard blood panel. It's not part of any routine screening. You could be profoundly deficient and never know, except for the clues your nails are giving you right now. A study published in the Journal of Plastic Dermatology tested a formulation based on horsetail extract, one of the richest natural sources of organic silica. After 28 days of application, researchers observed a significant decrease in longitudinal grooves and an 85% reduction in nail splitting. The control group, no change. Horsetail, Equisetum arvense, has been used in European herbal traditions for centuries. It contains 2 to 3% elemental silicon in the form of silicic acid and silicates. That's a concentration you won't find in any common vegetable or fruit. Traditional Chinese medicine knew this plant under a different framework. It falls into the category of herbs that strengthen what TCM calls Jing, the deep essence stored in the kidneys that governs bones, teeth, hair, and nails. Different language, same observation. But silicon is only one piece. There's another structural component that most people over 60 are losing, silently, steadily. and it affects far more than nails. Collagen makes up the nail bed, the tissue that sits beneath the nail plate and feeds it. After 30, collagen production drops by roughly 1% per year. By 60, you've lost nearly a third of it. The nail bed thins. Blood flow to the matrix decreases. Nutrients arrive slower. And every new layer of nail that forms carries the evidence: ridges, unevenness, fragility. A landmark trial published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology in 2017 put this to the test. 25 participants took 2.5 grams of bioactive collagen peptides daily for 24 weeks. The results? A 12% increase in nail growth rate, a 42% decrease in the frequency of broken nails, and 88% of participants reported improvement even 4 weeks after stopping supplementation. The collagen peptides reached the nail matrix and stimulated local keratinocyte activity, the very cells that build the nail plate. This is where the first layer of your protocol becomes clear. If your nails are ridged and cracking after 60, the most likely scenario is not a single deficiency, it's a cascade. Low stomach acid reduces mineral absorption. Iron drops. The matrix starves for oxygen. Zinc drops. Cell division slows. Silicon declines with age. Keratin fibers lose structural integrity. Collagen degrades. The nail bed itself thins and weakens. 5 breakdowns, 1 visible result. And here's what you can do about it, starting today. First, biotin, vitamin B7. This is the most studied nutrient for nail health. Biotin acts as a cofactor for enzymes involved in fatty acid synthesis and amino acid processing. Both feed directly into keratin production. Clinical data shows that 2,500 micrograms per day, that's 2.5 milligrams, improves nail thickness and reduces breakage within 3 to 6 months. The adequate daily intake is technically only 30 micrograms, but therapeutic doses used in trials are significantly higher. Eggs, nuts, seeds, and sweet potatoes are natural sources, but after 60, supplementation is often more reliable. Second, zinc. 8 to 11 milligrams per day from food or supplements. Oysters are the richest source, followed by beef, pumpkin seeds, chickpeas, cashews. If you're supplementing, zinc picolinate or zinc citrate are the best absorbed forms. One important note, zinc competes with copper for absorption. If you supplement zinc long-term, add 1 to 2 milligrams of copper to avoid a secondary deficiency. Third, iron, but only if you've tested it. Ferritin below 30 is worth addressing. Pair plant-based iron sources with vitamin C. Squeeze lemon over lentils. Eat spinach with bell peppers. Vitamin C dramatically improves non-heme iron absorption. Never supplement iron without blood work first. Excess iron is harmful, especially after 60. Fourth, collagen peptides. 2.5 to 5 grams daily. Hydrolyzed collagen, types 1 and 3, is the form that reaches the nail matrix. Pair it with vitamin C, which is required for collagen hydroxylation and stability. That's the base. 4 elements: biotin, zinc, iron if needed, collagen with vitamin C. But there's a 5th element that almost nobody includes, and without it, the other 4 work at roughly 70% capacity. That element connects directly to something ancient healers understood about nails 2,000 years ago. Here's a question worth sitting with. Why would a protein deficiency show up in your nails and not, say, your muscles? Your body has a priority system. When resources are scarce, it sends nutrients to vital organs first. Heart, brain, liver, muscles. Your nails are at the bottom of the list. They're the last to receive and the first to suffer. This isn't just a Western concept. Traditional Chinese medicine described this exact hierarchy over 2,000 years ago, using different words. In TCM, nails are governed by the liver, not the organ in the anatomical sense, but the liver as an energy system that stores and distributes blood throughout the body. When liver blood is abundant, nails are smooth, moist, and strong. When liver blood is deficient, nails become dry, ridged, brittle, and cracked. Western medicine sees anemia and mineral deficiency. Chinese medicine sees liver blood depletion. Different frameworks, one mechanism. Not enough nourishing substance reaches the extremities. And here's where it gets practical. TCM doesn't just name the problem, it names the solution: nourish liver blood. And one of the most classical ways to do that involves a group of herbs that modern pharmacology has confirmed contain exactly the compounds that support nail health. Dang Gui, Angelica sinensis, is the primary liver blood tonic in Chinese herbal medicine. It's been used for over 1,000 years to enrich blood and improve circulation to the extremities. Modern analysis shows it contains ferulic acid, a compound with strong antioxidant properties that protects vascular walls and enhances microcirculation. When blood flow to the nail matrix improves, every nutrient you take arrives faster and in greater quantity. Shou Wu, Polygonum multiflorum, is the kidney essence herb. In TCM, it directly targets the deep reserves that govern hair, bones, and nails. Its active compounds include imodin and stilbene glycosides, both shown to support antioxidant pathways and cellular renewal. This herb is typically used in processed form. Raw Shou Wu has a different effect profile and can be harsh on the liver. The processed version, Shou Wu, is the one linked to nail and hair support. And then there's Horsetail, Equisetum arvense. We already covered its silicon content, but it deserves a second look from the herbal angle. In European folk medicine, horsetail tea was the traditional remedy for weak nails, thinning hair, and fragile bones. 1 to 2 cups of horsetail infusion per day provides a meaningful dose of organic silica, in a form your body absorbs readily. It can also be taken as a standardized extract, 300 milligrams 2 to 3 times daily. One critical note on horsetail: it has mild diuretic properties. If you're taking blood pressure support or fluid balance support, consult with your healthcare provider before adding it. And it should not be confused with Equisetum palustre, a related species that is not safe for human use. Only Equisetum arvense. These herbs are not replacements for the base protocol. They're amplifiers. And there is one more amplifier, perhaps the most important one, that connects everything you've heard so far. We'll get there. But first, there's a mechanism that most people over 60 are completely unaware of, and it may be the real reason your nails changed in the first place. Thyroid hormones control the speed at which your nail cells divide. When thyroid function drops, even slightly, even subclinically, every tissue with a high turnover rate slows down: hair, skin, and nails. Roughly 20% of people with untreated low thyroid function develop noticeable nail changes within a year. The nails thicken, they ridge, they yellow, they crack. And because these changes overlap with normal aging, they get dismissed. No one tests. No one connects the ridges on the nail to the fatigue in the morning or the weight that won't move. Here's what makes this especially important after 60. Thyroid function naturally declines with age, and the standard screening threshold is generous. Many people with borderline thyroid function are told their labs are normal when their nails, their hair, and their energy tell a different story. This isn't a call to self-assess your thyroid from your fingernails. It's a call to ask the question: if your nails changed noticeably after 55 or 60, if they ridge and crack despite good nutrition, if you also notice dry skin, thinning hair, or persistent fatigue, request a full thyroid panel, not just TSH, free T3, free T4, and thyroid antibodies. The nails might be telling you something your basic blood work missed. And now, the piece that ties all of this together. Remember the fifth element from earlier, the one that makes the other four work at full capacity? It's water. Not hydration in the general sense, not drink 8 glasses a day, something far more specific. A healthy nail plate is approximately 18% water. When that percentage drops, and it drops easily in people over 60, especially in dry climates, heated rooms, and with inadequate fluid intake, keratin becomes rigid, inflexible, prone to cracking. You can take every supplement on the list, eat every food I mentioned, and if the nail plate itself is dehydrated, the ridges deepen and the cracks widen. But here's what no one tells you. Drinking water alone doesn't hydrate the nail plate effectively. Water reaches the nails through blood circulation, and the final step of hydration happens from the nail bed upward through capillary action. If circulation to your fingertips is poor, from cold extremities, from sitting too long, from cardiovascular sluggishness, the water you drink never fully reaches the nail matrix. This is why omega-3 fatty acids matter for nails. They don't build keratin directly. They support the fluidity of cell membranes, including those in the capillaries that feed the nail bed. When capillary walls are supple and permeable, hydration reaches the nail plate. When they're stiff and rigid, common after years of inflammation and oxidative stress, hydration stalls at the last inch. 2 to 3 grams of omega-3s per day from wild-caught fatty fish or a quality fish oil supplement supports this mechanism. Combined with adequate water intake, at least 1.5 liters per day for someone over 60, and the base protocol of biotin, zinc, tested iron, and collagen, you create the full supply chain. The factory gets its raw materials, the delivery system works, and the surface comes out smooth. Your nails aren't decoration. They're a diagnostic surface, a window into processes that most of us never think about until something goes wrong. Ridges and cracks after 60 aren't cosmetic flaws. They're your body's way of saying, something in the supply chain is running low. Maybe it's iron, maybe it's zinc, maybe it's collagen breaking down, or silicon quietly disappearing. Maybe it's your thyroid whispering before it shouts. The body doesn't complain loudly at first. It writes messages on the surfaces, skin, hair, nails, hoping you'll read them. Now you know how to read one of those messages. Start with the base. Biotin, zinc, collagen with vitamin C, and if your iron levels warrant it, iron. Add the amplifiers. Horsetail for silicon, omega-3s for circulation, adequate hydration, not just in quantity but in delivery. And if the ridges persist despite all of it, look deeper. Ask about your thyroid. Ask about your liver blood in the Chinese sense. Are you nourishing the system that feeds your extremities? The nail grows 3 to 4 millimeters per month. That means in 3 to 6 months, you can grow an entirely new nail, one that was built with the right materials, the right circulation, and the right internal balance. Your body replaces itself. Give it what it needs, and it will show you the difference, one fingertip at a time.